Hello, bookish baddies. It's the bookish baddie, Brandy Nikhil. Oh, look, my nails match my dress a little bit. Back with another video, and this time we are talking good recommendations for spooky season. So we are rounding into October when I'm recording this video. It probably will be October before y'all see the video, and so of course it's the season to be spooked. So I want to recommend a few excellent thrillers slash horror books for you to read this season. So I have a few of them hard copy and a few of them I'm going to insert the pictures over here. So let's get into it. Let's start with Hidden Pictures by Jason. I do not want to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to say it, but it starts with an R. I'm going to insert the picture here. Hidden Pictures is so good that I've read it twice within a year. I read it late last year and then I just read it again. It is so good. It was better the second time because I knew the plot. It was just, I can't explain it. It was better the second time. So this book follows a young woman who just gets out of rehab. She's had a drug problem and she gets a job nannying for a 5-year-old boy. And strange things start happening with the 5-year-old boy's imaginary friend, like really strange things. And then other people start to get involved, and it goes off the Richter scales. Wherever you think it's going as you're reading it, it's not going there. It's not. Mind-blowingly good. So good. 10 out of 10. No notes. Okay, second book, Gone for Good by Harlan Coben. I will insert it here. This book, I read this book years ago and it has never left my memory. That's how good it is. I love Harlan Coben. I love his books. I've read several of them. This one never leaves me. It's following a boy who, or a man who years and years ago when he was maybe a teenager, I think, or maybe even younger, his brother vanished. A tragedy happened with his brother's close friends and his brother vanished. They assume that he's dead. And this man, I think his name is Will has to bury his mother. His mother passes away. Again, this is years later. He's grown. His mother passes away. Him and his girlfriend go to the funeral. The next day, his girlfriend vanishes. And then pieces start to align. Like, okay, the girlfriend vanishing, the brother vanishing all these years before, the tragedy that happened down the street around that time. I'm talking about stuff is brewing. It's really starting to heat up now. And when I tell you, again, whatever you think is going to happen in this book, it ain't that. It ain't that. It is so good. The character development, A1. So good. Highly recommend. Okay, now let's get into the physical copies I have. So first and foremost, When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I swear by this book. It gives you like Get Out vibes, but mixed with a little something different. Like, it is phenomenal, and it hits on some really good underlying themes of like gentrification and racial profiling in neighborhoods and urban planning, but all in a very entertaining and spooky way. I'm sorry, my dog is bugging with these toys right now. But anyways, this one, I've read it and it stuck with me. I read this probably 3 years ago. 10 out of 10 for me. Highly recommend. Next up, Misery by Stephen King. Stephen King is the king of horror. No pun intended. I love the movie so much that I was like, I don't want to read the book because it's not going to measure up. The book was better than the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know the movie is iconic. Just to give you an idea, if you haven't seen the movie, you haven't heard of it, you don't know the premise. An author is finishing his book, and he always finishes his book out in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, or a hotel or something, middle of nowhere. He ends up getting into a car accident. A woman saves him, and he's like, oh my goodness, she saved my life. She takes him to her house, and then she decides, I'm going to keep you because I'm your biggest fan. And it has some really good underlying themes. So once you read it, look up what Stephen King has had to say about this book, because he talks about how this woman is a metaphor for addiction. It is, I mean, mind-blowing after you've read the book and or seen the movie. 10 out of 10. What can I say? And keeping on that same train, The Shining by Stephen King, another movie that I love. And as you can see, the book was just as good, actually much better. The book, like if the movie's a 10, the book is like a 15 for me. It was crazy. I couldn't believe how good the book was after how many times I've seen the movie. So The Shining, it even has a different ending than the movie did. So if you love the movie, still don't skip the book, because there are so many pieces in the movie that they didn't include that are in the book, and the ending is different. So it's practically like a whole different story. I mean, pretty much, right? Okay. The Therapist. You looking for something quick to read, something that you're going to speed through because you just got to know what's happening. This is fast paced, it's entertaining, it's engaging. It gives you that unreliable narrator vibe. Read this one. This is a quick read. Like, it's not super thin, but it's quick because of the pace. So I recommend this one for a good thriller. And last but not least, Just the Nicest Couple. I actually listened to this on audiobook instead of reading the physical copy, and it was so good that I probably will read it again to actually read the physical copy, because I just like to do that sometimes. But it follows, let me see if I can get the characters' names. Lily and Christian. So, Just the Nicest Couple, Lily and Christian are friends with Jake and Nina. They're, couple friends. And Jake goes missing, and Lily is the last person to see him, but she doesn't want to explain that she was the last person to see him because something sketchy happened when she seen him. But she's also like, but Nina's my friend. How do I go about this? And then she wonders, will I end up being under suspicion for it? And so you get to find out who really is the nicest couple, which of the two. Some good tea in this book, so I recommend this one as well. So those are my quick recommendations for spooky season reads. Comment and let me know if you've read any of these or what your spooky season recommendations would be. Thriller, mystery, horror, Halloween themed. Let me hear them because I want to read them too. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.